When you look at Team USA, I think they're 1-1-1 now through their first 3 games, which to some people might be surprising, right? You expect kind of USA, Canada, Sweden to be the favorites, but does it take some time when you're all coming from different places? Sometimes you get late arrivals because of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Like, is this where the U.S. typically is, where it takes some time for them to find their game?
I mean, I'm not going to speak for, I never played in the tournament,
Yeah.
so, but I would have to assume that when you're U.S. or you're Canada and you see that list, that board right there of just the next opponents of Team USA, I mean, you feel like you're the better team, right? And sometimes that's a slippery slope, right? And to what Schneid said, a lot of these players either have the chemistry of playing together, or this is much bigger for them in some degrees than it is for you, and it can catch you sleeping a little bit. So I think, yeah, when you look at the standings here and some of those teams, I'm shocked that the U.S. is where they're at. But it also gives them a little bit of kick in their rear end to kind of get going here in the tournament.
I agree with you, and I think they had a tough start. They had Sweden and Slovakia to start, which are better teams, but the schedule's pretty favorable. But yeah, when you go over there, it's bigger ice. The strategy's slightly different. It takes you a minute to sort of accept your role in your power play spot. Like you said, some of these teams play national teams together throughout the year, these other countries. So when you come over there, at least when we did, you know, we played the Finns, and they just sat back and tried to let us attack them, and they just, you know, kept us to the outside, and we were like, what's going on here? So it takes a minute because you can't quite do the things you can do in the NHL, and some of these teams have some pretty good systems and structures on that big ice, which is a bit of a factor as well.
And you mentioned the big ice, and I have had international competition, and then I even remember when I was with the Rangers, and we played preseason, and we went through about 5 different countries over in Europe, and it was hard for us as the New York Rangers playing against some of these hockey clubs from those areas because they're used to playing on that. And there's a different way to play. And I remember talking to Torts, he was our coach, and it was hard for me because I invite physicality. Like, I need a defenseman to come and body up on me so then I can, like, use that against him. And the physical parts that benefited me, there's no corners here.
Right.
Like, it's so big.
Yeah.
I would get the puck in the corner and I'd wait for contact because I want to feed off that or lean into it. And they're like, they stay off you, and as soon as you expose the puck, bop, knock it away, and off they are. So there is an adjustment here, and a lot of these, you know, European squads, they play that all year, so they're kind of already in that mode.
So interesting. Well, again, we're your official U.S. home for the World Championship this year, so we'll have everything right through to the gold medal game in about 10 days or so. So keep it locked here.